holster, shimmy, hey. Again, and you'll see in the correct tackle, you'll see that pop off the ground, all right, where we're exploding off the ground, running our feet high and wide. Again, emphasizing all the time, whether we're tackling air, all right, in our individual drills, whether we're tackling air against our offense because we can't tackle them, or whether we're tackling a bag. It's always explosive, it's always a pop, all right, and we're constantly developing good habits. Another phase of tackling that we specifically coach with the secondary is the torpedo or the spin tackle, all right? A lot of times in a game we need to execute a low tackle, all right? And this is what we're teaching right now is the finish of that low tackle. So the commands that we will use, all right, will be punch. So we want to explode through the tackle, okay? Second command will be pull, all right? And the third command will be spin, all right? And you'll see Steven spin and roll out to his right. So here we go. Punch, pull, spin. Punch, pull, spin. Okay? Again, what we're trying to get out of that is to get that defender comfortable, all right, with this particular tackle. We will use a crash mat in season where we will actually physically run and drive, all right, and tackle the same target, the exact same target, and now we'll be able to spin out and roll. So in season, we're using the crash mat, all right? Out of season, we're using a mat or this type of surface where we're getting used to that, executing that tackle. Okay, the next phase we want to work on is block destruction, all right? The first thing we want to do, all right, is teach our defensive backs, all right, where to place their hands, how to place their hands, all right? Right now, Andrew's aiming point is going to be on the numbers of the bag, so he wants to explode his hands on the numbers of the bag. So this, again, this is specifically a stock-oriented drill. He should finish with his hands, the heel of his hands and his thumbs up. So he wants to hit with the heel of his hands as tight to the breastplate as he can. So we're going to hit him 3 times. We go say it, hit. Okay, he recoils, hit. Recoils, hit. Okay, and then we're just going to switch it up and turn it around and give you a different angle. All right, but again, as simple as this drill is, it's critical that you get the hand placement, an explosive hand placement on the bags with the thumbs up. Say it, hit. Here we go. Say it, hit. Here we go. Say it, hit. Again, so now we've established where we need to have our hands when we are in type of combative situation on a stock block. All right, the next part of the progression is the approach. All right, so we're going to back Andrew up about 3 to 4 yards. All right, he is going to attack the bag. Similar to his approach in a tackle, he needs to widen his base and shimmy his feet to make sure he's exploding through. Obviously, we're going to get hand placement on the target, and we want to drive him back. So here we go. Say it, hit. All right, so we got hand placement, we got those wide feet running, all right, and all constantly moving. So we have a good balance and a good base to fight. We'll go one more time. Say it, hit. Okay, so again, we're exploding the bag. Now, again, just like the bag tackle, all right, this is a great drill to develop good habits. If you ask the guy to go run himself in to another opponent with pads on, without this beforehand, that's going to be a little bit tougher. But now we're establishing confidence and exploding through a target. Say it, hit. Notice how Andrew's running his feet high and wide as he's running through that target. He's got hand placement inside, and now we're in great shape in terms of taking on that stock. The next thing we want to progress to is a hand combat drill, all right? The idea is that the man with his hands inside is going to win the situation because you have more leverage, you have more power if your hands are inside. So right now we're going to fit Steven's hands inside on Andrew. Andrew's hands are outside, all right? And this is a defensive drill and an offensive drill. Basically, what Andrew's going to do is once his hands are not established inside, he's going to break those hands down by either slapping his hands down, all right, or ripping with an elbow, all right? And then Steven will try to reestablish his hands. Say, go. Okay, good. It's a competitive drill that we'll use in the off season, but the goal is I can push you if my hands are inside. I can win that battle. And if I'm in trouble, I've got to break those hands down. So it's a competitive drill, but it's designed to create hand placement and urgency when you're on a stock block and your hands aren't inside, to quickly break those hands down to reestablish yourself. The main multitask drill that we do in terms of block destruction is what we call the gauntlet drill. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a defensive back right now in a stock position. Right? So I'm going to be the receiver. I've got him stalked. It's Dan's job right now to get off the stock. If he's going to break my hands down to start with, all right, and get off that block. Next thing he's got to focus on a crack block. So Andrew's going to come down and try to crack him. All right. The goal of defeating the crack for us is we're going to crack the cracker. So basically, if we know a crack is coming, we are going to go attack the crack, all right? Block destruct the same way we would a stock. We're going to drive our hands. If we need to use the flipper, we will. Drive our hands and get off, cross face on it. The next thing we're going to have is a cut block. We're going to roll that cut block out. The way we defeat the cut block is we want to keep our outside leg and arm free, okay, while using our hands. So we got to get low, use our hands, outside leg and arm free. If we need to give ground to do that, we will. And then we will finish with an air tackle. Go. So very quickly, what we're trying to get, all right, is block destruction off a stock using our hands. We can have our hands inside or outside, so it's either a dip and a rip, all right, or else we're going to break the hands down, cross face on the crack, all right, and then obviously use our hands to get away from that cut block. See it? Hey! Again, multitask, we're accomplishing a lot in a short amount of time. Again, we're going to start by teaching the stock, all right? We're going to we teach the crack no differently than we teach the stock. We work on, we attack it, we get off of it, the cut block, and then finish with an air tackle. Okay, we've worked on footwork, we've worked on tackling, we've worked on block destruction, and really the final phase that we're going to work on is ball drills, all right? And specifically, we're working more on takeaways with our ball drills. We do have a predetermined warm-up where we're catching the football, but the main ball drills that we're going to use right now, we're going to use every day, okay? This first one is called the bat drill, is the bat or the rake drill. Right now, we're going to have a receiver running on a 45-degree angle. Defensive back's on the top shoulder, and what he's attempting to do right now, he's staying on top, but he's working to rake that upfield arm as the ball arrives. All right, you're not in bad position to make a play, and you've got to get a defensive back ready to be in those types of positions. He's on the top shoulder. The receiver has first access to the ball, which is fine. We want to do the best thing and get the ball out. So let's do it again. Okay, and then we still have that off arm, all right, to secure the tackle. So again, we're going for that strip to rake that upfield arm down and away from the football. And that's the arm that the receiver is designed to catch it. That's the arm that he's controlling the football with. The next drill that we're going to use is what we call the bat drill. We've now put the defender on the low shoulder, all right, simulating that could be his design technique. He could have made a great break on the football, but he's going to be on the low shoulder, and now he's going to look to reach that near arm in to bat the football. All right, so we're going to get that one hand, and we want to see that hand come on the ball and down. It shouldn't just be intersecting the ball, all right, it has to come down. The hand has to come down to get that ball on the ground. So if you can get one hand on the ball, we do it. We still have the off arm there, all right, to secure the tackle if we miss it. The next drill we're going to do is the quarterback indicator drill, or the launch drill. The goal of this drill right now, Steven is a zone defender with his eyes on the quarterback. That could be a cover 2 safety, it could be a deep middle safety, but his eyes are going to be burned on the quarterback. The first thing we're going to teach him is read the shoulders of the quarterback. And what I'm going to attempt to do to start with is throw the ball deep. So he should see a high launch from the quarterback, a ball high in the air, and he's going to go meet and attack the football at its highest point. Okay, so right there, Steven was reading the quarterback, I indicated the direction to him, which forced him to weave. When my hand came off and down from the ball, he made his break. Let's go again, Stephen. Okay, Stephen bit on the first. I wasn't trying to trick him on that, and I don't try to trick him on this drill. I will say to him, you got to read the shoulders. If the shoulders change, you got to change with the shoulders. All right, and then wait for the hand to come off and down from the ball. One more time, Stephen. So again, right now we're developing a trust with his keys on the quarterback. Again, high launch, break back, all right? Wait to the hand to come off and down from the ball before you break. Don't break on the pump. So I will add this element to the drill at times so they're just not breaking on this type of action or this type of action that we'll see from an offense. All right, the next phase of this is we're going to break on a low launch. All right, so we're going to incorporate it. So quarterback is now going to drive, and now the shoulders are down and pointing straight as opposed to up, throwing it deep. The main coaching point that we're going to have on this particular drill, all right, and our defense, we do this daily, is if he sees the ball thrown down on a rope, all right, the ball is insignificant and the receiver is. So he needs to line up the receivers. So Dan has given him a target and Andrew's given him a target, all right, and now he's going to be ready to break. Okay, we'll typically have an extra guy in the back there to secure the football, all right, but we've given him a target. Steven sees the ball thrown out low, he's driving and lining up the receivers, and we've got some great examples on tape in terms of that happening.